Hello and welcome. This is Silverbox, and welcome back to the Overwatch Reinhardt's Rocket Hammer. Like always, if you want this and you want to get it for yourself, go to my Patreon at patreon.com/silverboxcraft. With only a $2 subscription, you are able to get this and every other project I have done in the past. Also, if you want regular updates on my current videos, subscribe to my channel. With that said, getting back to our project at hand, since the last video I have made a few modifications. In the last video, as you remember, this was how I have left it. So now all I have done is I extruded it forward so it fit in between the thrusters right nicely. It is still a separate piece for each side, so this will be two pieces doing construction. On this episode, we are actually going to be making the cover part for the top of the rocket launch, the rockets, and the grip. Now to start, let's add a plane. First the cursor to the center. Adding the plane, going directly. Actually no, I accidentally went into this one. So exit, cursor to the center, and add a plane here, going into edit mode. And I am going to set this up somewhat like this. Deleting one of the sides so we can add a mirror. Making sure that clipping is also active. Now what I'm doing is I follow the contours of the thrusters like I usually do. This is pretty much what you're going to end up with. The difference between this and the normal one is the normal piece is not actually going to be touching every single side. This is only going to be touching the top of this thruster, and it's going to be touching the sides of this. So for that purpose, I'm going to delete, pull these vertices forward like this, and delete this one. That allows me to select this and bring it down over here. Pull it to the back, the side until it is visible. And I'm just going to start adding vertices around this till I get a rough shape of the cover itself. There we go, this should be perfect. Sorry about the silence, I have to concentrate sometimes. So we are left with this. Once again, this is going to now be completing the shape of it. Making sure that it never actually goes inside like it is done right here. So what I may end up doing, something like this. Once again, you have to excuse the silence as I'm trying to figure out a way to work with what I have at the moment. So this is the farthest I can go back. So just add a few details here to make sure that the curvature is relatively nice. There we go. Now I have to unite this point with that point over here, and yeah, this should be fine right here. Pull it back, making sure to keep pulling it to the side as you are extruding it forward. There we go. This should be what I need now. And all I'm doing in this process is making sure that there's enough clearance between this piece I'm adding right now and the hammerhead. And there we go. This is the basic shape. Now what I'm going to have to do is, sorry about me hitting the table right there. What I'm going to have to do now is fill in all of these faces, and then I'm going to have to extrude everything out to make like this raised shape right here, and make the thickness of the cover itself. First thing first. Okay, this looks decent. There we go. I'm going to add two loop cuts here, not for right now, for convenience in the future when it comes to unfolding this. I have several different points to which to do so. When I add a cursor to the center right here, pressing the comma key. Oh, sorry, once again, I forgot to display screen keys. Yes. Okay, I pressed the period key. Extrude this. And I believe this is roughly what I want. Pull it forward slightly. Actually scale it down in the y-axis. This is fine. So I'm pull it down just slightly. And I believe this is roughly acceptable. I'm going to have to adjust this just slightly. Just to give it a nice rounded shape at the end. Now I'm going to leave that solid like that. I'm going to pull this entire edge inward. As you can see here, this goes up to this point right here with a slight curvature to it, so pull this edge inward, making sure that this is relatively nice. There we go. A decent curve right here, so fix this as well. As you can see, the majority of the time you are going to waste on this is going to be to perfect the details you want, remove the details you don't. For example, to me this is far too sharp of a curve right here, so I'm going to smooth it out slightly. And that is pretty much it. This is what I'm going to end up with. I'm going to select these two, Control E, and edge slide them all the way over here. I'm going to pull them up. I'm going to pull these up. This should be fine. Add another cut here. Add a second one. And this is going to be pulled down like this. so it gives that small little detail right there. Smooth this out so that it doesn't look as jagged, because I want a jagged look there, but I don't want it here. Okay, how should I bring this forward? Okay, bringing those forward, that does actually work somewhat nicely. And for me that's perfectly acceptable. Close this right here, so it has the jagged look all the way to that point. That's fine by me. That is actually something I would actually maintain. So apply the mirror, everything is fine. Actually not everything is fine. These, there we go. Are they still touching? They are. There we go. You always want to make sure that the edges are not overlapping, because, well, if you build this out of paper, when the edges overlap, it's going to be harder to assemble this. You're going to have to cut pieces that you shouldn't have to. But with that done, now we are going to work on the tool systems. Now this shouldn't be that complicated. It's going to be a tool pretty much that goes from this connection right over here all the way to the trusser, and the secondary one from lower in the same spot all the way to the bottom of the support piece of the grip. To do that, let's start by cursor to the center as always, adding a circle and immediately going into edit mode, deleting the circle as we don't want that one. We want to alter the vertices, so since this is a small one, I'm going to put an 8. Yeah, this is relatively okay. I'm going to bring it to this position and to this position, make it smaller. There we go. Okay, I'm going to make it bigger, making sure it's not touching. I have it like this. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to create this grid piece. This grid piece is going to be the same for top and the bottom. It's just an identical piece for both of those, so I'm going to duplicate this one down. There we go. Adding a mirror, this should duplicate on the other side. In Control N should normalize all the faces. Now I'm going to select all of these. Actually, you know what? I'm going to delete the bottom one, because the back part is pretty much the same. So to do this one, we're going to extrude it and then use this to expand it outward, and I'm going to extrude it all the way into the face of the hammer. Just like that. I'm going to adjust it so that it's only touching the hammerhead itself, nothing else. This is fine. So I'm going to exit this, add a mirror to the so a boolean modifier to this, to the original circle. In this case, adding difference, applying this. Now this should have cut this entire thing up. This is just fine. Now what we're going to have to do is bring this down here and somehow find a way to add this to this face right here, between this small face right here, which you can see doesn't actually happen. So my original idea of duplicating this downwards won't actually work, as you just saw. So we're going to have to come up with a different solution for that. In that would obviously be to do the same process, but I will make this one quite shorter than the last one, and I'm going to add it into this surface right here. Okay, yeah, I'm supposed to add it back here, but as you can see that there isn't much space for me to work with. But given the circumstances, I may actually try to do that, just that. Bringing it inwards slightly should help. Once again, you have to excuse my silence as I am trying to find a proper place to insert this one. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it like that. That shouldn't be much of a problem. So once again, adding the volume modifier to the original circle. Okay, I had to exit edit mode. Applying this should now, yeah, there we go, it completely cut. Now what I want to add is the same process, but to this surface here, and this surface is the set by the name the first plane. So once again, I'll add the volume modifier to plane. There we go. Adding the selecting difference and applying this. And there we go. This now created the necessary indents, and now I'm going to actually have to go around and making sure that everything is triangle on this one. So I'm going to stop the video right here, and I'll do that. Well, there were too many edges for me to work with, so why didn't show? I simply add a triangulate modifier. You didn't actually lose much. It was a very simple. I actually will do it on screen just so you can see what I did. Add a triangulate, exit edit mode, applying it, and there you go. This is the surface we are going to use. Face. I'm going to delete these faces. There we go. Selecting the entire edge loop, shrinking it down, and I'm going to pretty much work from here to try and get it towards the first. There we go. The first rocket tip. I'm pretty much just adjusting everything here, so everything ends up lining just right. And now just work with some of its the shape of this. As you can see, it doesn't need to be perfect at all. Come on, just select the edge loop. I'm going to pull this outward just slightly, so that in here I can add this bigger section. This will allow me to replicate the ring that's you can see in the back picture right there. This should be just fine. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, what I'm going to do here is pull it so that this base is going against the flat surface of the rocket, so I don't have to do too many alterations to it. And now I'm just creating a curvature to this so it doesn't look as bad. There we go, this should be just fine. And now the other part we're going to need is going to do the same thing up here, but it's going to go into the support piece for the grip, so selecting this entire thing, duplicating it down here, okay, what I just noticed is there is no face on the inside of this one, so very quickly close it. There we go. That is there. And now just repeat the process. And the second tube, shrink it down. Just about that. Now this is going to have a bigger curvature to it because it's going directly inside of the body, underneath the first rocket itself. And I'm going to do is select both of these rings, and since they are both the same amount of vertices, I'm going to press space, bridge, edge groups, and enter. And from here I'm just going to work on the mesh by myself without the help of the picture, as I want all of these tubes to clear contact with the actual thruster itself. And it's going to look somewhat like this. Once again, this is just a personal detail I'm adding myself. This is not going to be exactly like the one demonstrated on the concept art right here, as that is made from a 3D morpho game, so edges can overlap. In mine they can't, because they are going to be used as paper models, so that's the difference between the two. So cursor to the center, align to view, 8-sided should be fine for the grip. Actually, okay, that's a problem right here. I was in edit mode for this one. Make sure I'm not in edit mode, and make sure I add the right mesh. I'm going to add into add 8, going directly into edit mode, bring it down immediately, scaling it to size. This is alright by me. Bring it down to the first intersection, down again, scale it, repeat the process. Now I'm going to bring it about here. This is by height basically, because I don't have a reference for the side of this, but this should be about it. Since it's a very plain piece, I'm going to add these details here. So to add them, I'm going to select one of these, press E and scaling inwards like this. That allows me to create those inlays, and I'm going to select everything, bring it slightly down, and making sure I have a flat surface of contact, and the same thing on the bottom. There we go, everything is closed. You add some big of details, but it doesn't matter. It's just to add some flavor to it. Now from here all I'm missing is the bottom part right here. This is also going to be a separate piece. What I'm going to do is select this, duplicate it and bring it down. With this mesh I'm going to duplicate it, immediately go into edit mode and delete the one I created. And repeat the process for the other one, and we now have two different meshes. It's easier for me to do this and just having to align them. With this in place now, okay, I forgot to fix that thing, so I'm going to have to do the same thing for this one. So once, like I was saying, this is going to be a very small detail. The biggest problem with this one is going to be these lateral things, but it shouldn't cause too many issues. There you go, that's the basic form for the bottom. Now I'm going to need to is create these weird shapes right here. So I'm going to start a random circle, duplicate it upward, I'm going to shrink it down, and while it is shrunk I'm going to create the basic shape of those things without taking without minding right now that it is overlapping. This will be fixed later. Make it bigger, and there we go. This is pretty much what we want. So now as you can see, I have to have the several loop cuts to make sure that this is properly spaced. I'm going to start working on a mirror mode so it's easier for me to figure out what pieces I need to move. This needs to go up, this one needs to go up as well, these two go up. Oops. Pretty much all I'm doing here is adjusting the shape so that it fits the contours of the currently existing mesh. this is a very simple process. As you can see, this is just trying to figure out what should go where. It's not actually that difficult of a challenge. I'm going to just add a mirror for a moment so I have something to stop this from going inward. There we go, that face is done. That one is as well. There we go. Now this entire thing should sit firmly on top of the existing mesh without a problem. So if we turn it on, we can see just how it sits. I'm going to apply the mirror to this so it's easier for me to duplicate this shape. All I have to do is to close every open open space. Sorry about that, that was a notification. And now as you can see, the bottom ones are offset from the top one. It's not a perfect triangle, but I'm going to keep it this way, mostly because I would need to do two different cuts, one from this piece and from that piece, and I don't want to bother. So apply this. Rotate it by -90. Yeah, this is fine. And place it on the bottom. Now as I look at this, the hammer handle is quite big, so I'm going to shrink it down considerably. That is about it. Making sure that this is nearly touching. That is it. That is the full thing completely veiled. The thrusters are in place, tubes are in place, the top cover, the side covers, the support pieces in the middle, support pieces for the handle. Yeah, everything, as you can see, is now in place, so there's only one thing left to do. That's to export this into an OBJ file. As you can see, I already have an OBJ file because I was testing if anything was actually out of place. And as you can see, there are no red lines, so that means we probably managed to get everything correctly aligned and glued together. So all that is left is unfolding this. I want to put the random height, so for now, not specific. But this is pretty much it. This is the full thing completely unfolded and ready to be assembled. Now all I need is a printer and ink for this. Once again, if you like this and you want to get it for yourself, you can go to my Patreon at patreon.com/silverwaxcrafts. With only a $2 subscription, you are able to get this and every other project I have done in the past. Also, if you aren't willing and able to support me, you might go to my YouTube page, subscribe to my videos and comment on them. That is usually a great help that helps me know what you would like me to do in the future. So again, thank you for watching and I hope to see you again.